So here we are at the 9th and final part of this Final Fantasy 1 playthrough on the Pixel Remaster collection. Following on from last time, we've restored the final 4th crystal and defeated all of the fiends. So now we're just going to get ready to head on to the final area of the Chaos Shrine. So if we take a quick look at the beast tree, you should be at 119 of 128 if you've defeated all the enemies that I've been showing. And chests-wise, the only place that you should have any left would be the Chaos Shrine, which there would be 7 left, as you can see there. Accidentally went back into Cornelia, but we don't need to. But I'm going to pick up some items just in case, if you can restock if you want, because once we go into the Chaos Shrine, I think you're in there. I don't believe there's a way out, so we're going to stock up, although the amount of items we already had is probably way more than enough. And if you remember where the Chaos Shrine is, it is the area we went to in episode 1 and 2, in the top left of the original continent. But this time we don't have to walk there, we can take the airship and fly, so it takes a lot less time to get there. So we're going to head on in, and we want to go back to the main room where we found Princess Sarah the first time. And there's going to be a crystal there, but what you'll notice now is we can talk to the bats. So if you remember back in Lufenian, or whatever the area was called, they mentioned that they had sent people out to try and stop this, or it might have been the Sage Circle, I can't remember which. These are the characters that had happened to. A quick fight there we don't need to see. Oh yeah, so these are the Sky people that came to try and stop the corruption of the crystals and that by Garland and the fiends, but they got turned into bats by Garland, who, considering we were able to defeat him quite easily, I'm not quite sure what had the power to do this to them. But once you're ready, just interact with the crystal, and some time travel shenanigans will occur, and we're going to be sent to the past. We reveal all 4 crystals that we've got. And we go 2,000 years back in time, so we go to the Chaos Shrine back when it was fully formed, and not the ruin that it is now that we're in. A little bit of a cutscene. And here we are, the first floor of the Chaos Shrine. So you can see this area is a lot bigger now. And I really like the music of this location as well. Makes it feel like there's something urgent going on. So there's a lot of exploration we're going to do in this area, and obviously we're going to be looking for the last 9 or so enemies, as well as getting the rest of the 7 chests. So if you've been following through my guide all the way, we'll get all of those. And yeah, as we let's go forward. So you want to go down and to the right, and we're going to go to the first set of stairs. In this area, you're going to encounter enemies from all over. Pretty much every region and dungeon we've been to, you will encounter these enemies here. And here are the first ones of the Rhyos. It's basically just a different colour palette version of the Chimeras. An increased health stat, but again, nothing that you should be too concerned about. We should be one-shotting everything in the game still. I think the final boss is probably the only thing we won't have that power to do. But continue through the route we can go with the stairs. I want to go down and right along here. So yeah, a lot of enemies, if you haven't picked them up, you could encounter in this area, but I prefer not having to worry about that again as we've encountered them during the story. Go all the way down and to the right. More enemies there. And we want to look up in the middle for this front door, and there's going to be a monster there we have to deal with, which is going to be the Death Eye, so just an upgraded version of Evil Eye, but that enemy was never really particularly tough, so this upgraded one will go down again and give us almost no XP. There's going to be 2 chests in here. A Dry Ether and an Elixir, 2 things that we don't particularly need. But there you can go, Chaos Shrine chests should be going up now. And we want to interact with this plaque. And we play the lute that Princess Sarah gave us all the way back in episode 1. And thanks to that, we spawn a ladder. So thank God we got that item off of Princess Sarah way back when, otherwise we'd already be trapped. So I'm going to make a bit of a mistake here and go back up the ladder and interact with Evil Eye again, which I'll cut the fight, Death Eye, which I'll cut the fight out. And there's going to be a little bit of a cut upcoming soon because I thought there was something I was missing on this floor and I went around and explored, but that was not the case. So back down from the ladder, we want to proceed down and then to the top left, which will get us to a new section of stairs. And there's going to be 4 rooms scattered around this floor as well, which I'll show you as we go into the first one, but none of them have anything in that we need. So, as with the map trick we've been using, you can see there's no chests in any of those rooms. So head up to the top left and we'll go into the set of stairs that are over here. And now along here we want to proceed along to the left. There's going to be some more encounters we're going to get on the way, but I don't think there's anything new that can spawn yet. I'm going to make another mistake though and quickly head back up the stairs, but we don't need anything up here, so we will proceed all the way over to the left side. Black Flan seems to be the encounter we're getting the most here. They say as I get it for the 3rd time in a row. And there's another set of stairs up here on the top left. 4 times in a row we get Black Flans now. So proceed through these, and then there's going to be a set way we can go, which is going to be all the way up this long hallway. And this time it wasn't a Black Flan encounter. There's nothing up here in the top left, so we're going to go right. Still just getting enemies we've previously encountered. You notice we seem to be getting a lot of the earth element enemies in this one. Nothing in the top right, but keep following the hallways. Just a quick heal up from me, and then there's another set of stairs in the bottom right. And there is a door here as well, which there's nothing inside, but it's a nice fancy room. So yeah, we'll proceed down. And if you see there's an orb which we interact with, and we have to fight at the Lich again, but this time it is a tougher version of the Lich. They're upgraded, and as you can probably work out, we're going to be fighting a version of the Fiend on each, a different Fiend on each floor. So we're going to put the Speed Tonic on the Monk, same as before. The Monk's going to use the Giant Gloves on himself. The White Mage is also going to use the Strength Tonic on the Monk. And then the Black Mage is going to cast Haste and then follow it up with Temper each turn. While the White Mage and Warrior just attack or heal up as and when is required. And this will allow our Monk to very easily go through all of these fights. So as you see here, we'll just go back to, we might as well do a round of attacks on them all and Temper on the Monk. It's always nicer if the Black Mage gets to act before the Monk. And there you go, a 32 hit combo doing 2,000 points of damage. Flare is going to be a reasonably nasty multi-hit on this all. The Monk probably taking the brunt of the attack at this point due to the fact that he's still got no equipment on. But another round of attacks like that and we should win, but I'll heal up with the White Mage just as a precaution. Again, only the Black Mage shouldn't really be in a situation to die here, but nope, there we go. Lich is immediately taken down. So there's the first of the Fiends we need to defeat in this dungeon. And they should all go down like this as a relative breeze. And then go down the stairs that the theme is blocking it. You could probably see there the fire orb on the right. But follow the route I'm going. Want to go north first. And then over to the right, there should be a way that we can leave this room. By going down through this opposite end of the way we came in. And you can see on the map there, there's going to be some chests that we're going to go and pick up. And then we should be almost finished on getting all of the chests. If not, these are the last ones that we need. So proceed all the way down. We can get to Marilith now, but we don't need to if we want to get the chests first. So go through either door, but I've gone with the right way first, and we can open up the first chest, which is a Protect Cloak, which is useful on the White Mage, but it's something we're already wearing, and but it's something we can chuck on the Black Mage instead. Lowers defense, increases evasion. But we'll just keep encountering fire element enemies down here. Similar to, as you can imagine, where we saw all the earth element enemies on the floor above. Next chest is over here, all on the way on the right side, and then now we want to go to the left side of this, the bottom left side of this floor. After we keep getting through all of these very easy encounters, they just do slight chip damage to us as they go between us. So through the door we came in, and then go through the left side route. Just fire lizard after fire lizard, the chest at the top, and then a long set of hallways to follow to get to the remaining chest. All the way along, and then down. All the way down to the bottom, and then there's a route we can go around. And into this room. And there we go, Sasuke's blade. Which, considering we've got Excalibur, is not anything we'll need. Now we can go all the way back up to fight Marilith. So just retrace your steps and go back up to the fire orb. But this area is very, very encounter heavy, as you can see with the amount of encounters I'm skipping for you. So just loop all the way back. Another set of enemies, but hopefully we get to Marilith this time without anything. So just do a quick heal up. Make sure we're at tip-top health, because those multi-hit attacks can hurt. And then we're ready for the fight. Engage Marilith. So, again, same way we did Lich, same way again. Buff up the monk on turn 1, and then afterwards just have at it. So, same again, speed, strength, and giant's gloves on the monk, as well as haste. And then after we have one round of turns, thankfully death missed on the monk, because if you do die, you lose all the buffs that have previously been applied to you. And the attempted casts of the ones we were doing if he was already dead would fail. And then, yep, we're just going to wail on Marilith and temper up the monk again. Nice AoE combo from the warrior, but completely pales in comparison to the damage output the monk can do. So, attempting to stun there just to paralyze us, but misses again. I think the level we're at and protection we've got is just putting us too far over. And a second round of hits from the monk at 3,000 damage is enough to take out the second of the fiends. Long death animation, but we've cleared our second fiend and can proceed further down into the dungeon. You don't really get much XP in Gil from these fights, but you should be at the point where you don't really need it. So taking a step down and we're on another floor. As you can see there, the exit we need is to the bottom right. There's a couple of doors we're going to have to go in, but no more chests on this floor either. And we're going to get water type enemies this time, which, as you can probably expect, means that we're going to be fighting Kraken on this floor. So take either the left or the right side set of doors, and it's going to be able to let you loop all the way around to the bottom section of this floor, and that will lead us to the stairs that we want. There's not too much to explore on this one. Through here, over to the right, more encounters, and then can't interact with these, although I did try. I wasn't sure if they'd have some text appear up on the screen for you for interacting with them, but yeah, it's definitely no chest that we're missing. So now we just want to proceed down into the set of stairs in the bottom right. Just encounter after encounter on the way. Do we get one more? Just I'm about to interact with it. Here we go. Make sure you're healed up again, just in case you take a solid multi-hit combo. But otherwise interact with the Kraken, and let's go. Same way again, chuck all the buffs up on the monk, and then just completely wail on it. It's nothing too much of a problem, as has been a lot of the interactions we've had in this game. Just struggling there, and she's Giant's Tonic instead of Giant's Gloves. But yeah, there's no change to how we're going to approach all of these fights. Ink tries to cast blindness on us all, but thankfully misses. Just continue, finish buffing up, and then we'll take out Kraken in 1 to 2 rounds of attacks. When we finally get to swing. Again, 200 damage from the warrior. He takes the same amount of damage back. That's a weak hit from the white mage. A nice buff on the monk just as he's ready to go. And then a 2,000 damage hit. And then another round of that ideally should take out Kraken, maybe 2 rounds depending on how hard the monk himself hits. But pretty easy all round. Again, 600 damage this time from the warrior, which is nice, but 3,600 from the monk is enough to take it out. I think. The damage the monk's hitting for, other than the final boss, he would have taken out every boss in the game in 2 hits, and the final boss potentially he could take out in 3. Depends on how high the damage roll we get is. So obviously we're only at just over level 50, whereas you can go all the way up to, I believe, 99 in this game, maybe 100. There's no reason to, and you'll never hit that point, but there is the ability to. So the top right you can see is the stairs. That's going to have Tiamat blocking the final set, but there's a room in the bottom right that we're going to be heading over to. And we're still looking for some new encounters, which I believe this floor has the first set of ones, which it does. It's the purple worms. One of them immediately runs away, which has just reminded me we never actually defeated the first enemy that ran away from us, the upgraded skeleton. I can't remember what his name is. It was one that we never actually defeated, but the beastry still counted it, so we're all good. So defeat those, they're not too tough. Just upgraded versions of worms that we previously fought, like the lava worm. And I believe this should be our last chest, which is the Masamune. It's an improved version of Excalibur, but it has a lot worse accuracy. So it's whether you want that trade-off. But with the amount of damage our warrior is doing at the moment compared to the monk, it doesn't really matter what weapon he's got equipped. The monk will carry us through everything. And this is the other enemy we're looking for, the Iron Golem, not to be confused with the Stone Golem, because their colour tint is very, very minor in difference. But he is a very rare spawn. Not quite as rare as Warmech, but a similar ratio down here, so it could take you a little while to find it. And now we've only got 2 enemies left. We're up to 126, which one of those, as you can probably expect, will be Tiamat for the second time. And then the other one will be something we're going to fight after. And I say immediately after that we get 2 Iron Golems as a next encounter. But yeah, that's one you're going to be looking for on this floor, and I believe it only spawns on this floor. The purple worm does have the ability to spawn on several floors. So make the way all the way over to Tiamat. Just make sure you heal up, same as with all these other boss fights. And we're ready to go. Same round again. Let's buff up the monk and then have at it. I do think I should have ordered my inventory the right way around, so these things I was going to use are right at the top, because those are the only ever item interactions I've ever had other than Phoenix Downs, but you live and learn. For when I come back to this game and do future playthroughs, that's definitely something I'll consider and do. So Blazara hit does very little because our magical resists are quite high and it had a low damage roll. A round of buff ups from us. And then get ready to go down in 2 more turns. Didn't need to cast Solara there, but why not? Tiamat's always going to cast multi-hit spells on us. If we always go after Tiamat, it works out fine. So 2,500 on the first round of attacks. And we're going to get another buff up from the Black Mage. And then the second round of attacks should, I believe, take out Tiamat. Again, continuously hitting us with multi-hit spells, but the damage it does is so lackluster. The 2,500 hit, so there we go. 4th boss in a row down, and a relative breeze for us it was. The long death animation, as they all have. The same amount of XP and gil they've all been giving, and only 1 gil from it. Here we are on the final floor. I don't believe there's any encounters on this floor, but I could stand corrected. I want to head down and around into this first room. I do stand corrected, there are indeed encounters on this floor. And up through the doors. Have a quick save outside if you need. And I was right, that Masamune chest is the last chest that you can get. So you should have had that achievement now. And then we've met Garland, but it's Garland somehow in the past. He's time traveled like us. How did Garland get here? The underlying story to this game is pretty subtle and pretty underexplored or unexplored. Obviously, I don't know if you know about the new Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise game that ties in with Final Fantasy 1, but there's a lot of backstory and stuff to this game that's not overly explored in the game, but there's some novels and things that dive into it a lot more, which is where I ended up getting the character names from. But basically, Garland and Chaos have made a deal, which is linking in with the four fiends, and time travel gets involved to make sure this is a time loop that keeps happening. But this is going to be the attempt where hopefully we break that time loop. But as based on the dialogue they've got, like this thing has happened multiple times. We've fought Chaos and lost, and then we end up defeating Garland, who gets sent back in time, and then becomes Chaos, and we get back here, and then we lose, and it's just a never-ending loop like that. But there's no difference for how we're going to approach this fight. The immediate start is going to be us buffing up the monk again, ready to wail on Chaos, and if memory serves, Chaos has the most HP in this game of 10,000. So we'll take a couple of hits from the monk to do it, and as you can see there, the damage we can take is 300 to 400 from those from that flare, so the white mage is pretty much going to be solely on healing duties at this point. You can buff up again if you need to, which I might do, just because his defense is higher than everything else we've dealt with so far as well, but we're good to go if needs be. So his physical hits will do around the same as well, so he does jump between physical hits and multi-hit spells, all of which are going to do around the same amount of damage, just whether they hit your whole party or not. But we just want to keep everybody healed up so we don't get immediately taken out in one hit. We're going to heal slightly less than the damage he does, but that's fine because he's going to alternate between the attacks he does. And anything that targets the warrior is less of a concern due to the amount of HP he has. 400 hit there on the monk is quite rough though. We might need to do some single target healing. But keep bumping up the monk and he's ready to go. 32 hit combo for 4,000 damage on the first one. So as it stands, we should be able to take him out in 3 rounds of attacks from the monk. But we just want to make sure everybody keeps getting healed up, so we can just keep spamming heal. Either AoE or single target, depending on what we've been hit by. So there's one of his unique attacks, Tsunami. That one hits a bit less than Flare, thankfully, so nothing too much to worry about. Just keep healing everybody up. Direct target heal will heal everybody. A direct target heal at this point from the white mage will heal everybody up to full. I think this is the first time we've ever actually used it outside of combat. But we'll just keep spamming Healara because the chance of Chaos going before us is quite high. Thundergar shouldn't do too much. No, it doesn't. Another 4,600 hit. So one more round of attacks from the monk, and I believe that should have it. Unless this flare takes him out. No, it didn't do anywhere near as much damage. The monk is by far and out just the most powerful thing in the game at this point. Double monk teams will steamroll through pretty much anything, and I may end up doing a playthrough of that. Blaze hits quite hard, a weak hit back from our warrior, another swing from our monk. I did think I was going to take the Chaos out, so maybe he's got more than 10,000 HP, maybe it's 15 or 20,000, I'm misremembering. Either way, another couple of round of attacks and he should go down. We're not really in any danger. No, yeah, the immediate next attack from the monk, and there we go. After we get the final death animation of Chaos, it's another slow one, similar to all the fiends. We're going to get a long final credits, which I will not... I'll have a quick rundown as they're going through, but I'll leave you to listen to the music and read it yourselves. But that just about wraps up the game, and if you followed me as I've gone through, you should have picked up all the achievements, trophies, unlocks, whatever. We encountered all the enemies and picked up all the chests. And I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, but I'll leave you to enjoy this section by yourselves, and I will catch you again at the very, very end. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that quick little rundown of the epilogue and what happens. And here we get the iconic song and what will be the full round of credits, but I will skip these. You can skip the scene and it takes you back to the main menu, which will be for the last time that we saved. I hope that you... Well, it doesn't go to the last time you save, it takes us just before the final boss. Which I will save in a new save slot just in case. But I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you unlocked everything as I did. I hope I didn't miss anything that I accidentally cut out of the video. I look forward to continuing with all of the games in the Pixel Remaster collection. I've decided I'll go through them all in order and probably go through all the games afterwards as well. I think I might do a whole playthrough one by one of every Final Fantasy game. Ideally in order, or not necessarily release order, but series order, and tie in all the middling games as well. So not long after this, I hope to start uploading parts for Final Fantasy II on the Pixel Remaster collection. Ideally, I will upload them at a more set schedule. I know there were definitely some times with this one where there was a bit more of a gap between episodes than I wanted. But I'd like to come back to Final Fantasy 1 and do one of the challenge playthroughs as well, where you do it with like 4 black mages, 4 white mages, or whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed. Any and all feedback is welcome, and I hope you look forward to me doing any future playthroughs as well. But otherwise, have a good time, and I hope to catch you on the next game. Goodbye.